Grand Rising to my kings, my queens. Happy Friday. January 22nd. Time in California is 9:11 a.m. I'm going to go into work in a little bit. I just needed a moment because my heart is doing that thing again. I don't know what's in the air. I'm so serious between talking to OG Aquarius sis yesterday or last night, Erica, between I love my sisters. I'm going to say it like that. Usually I listen to Leo Sisters Marco Polos while I'm at work. I just have my little Bluetooth in my ear while I'm sitting here multitasking at work at my desk. Because we catch up in the mornings throughout the day, whatever. If I can't answer, I still put the heart sign, all kinds of stuff going on. But something has been bothering my spirit, and something has told me, just go ahead and listen to that message now. Do not go into work. Listen to the message first. My heart's doing this weird thing, so I'm waiting for the heart meds to kick in. I love my sisters. Aries sis, you started this shit. There's Asha and Latasha. And there's Erica. There's Lisa. And there's my cousin Melinda. That's like romper room right now. Let me stop. Oh no, I'm emotional. Part is because I'm on my cycle, but no, it's more so emotions. I'm gonna tell you guys some stories. I didn't even tell Tasha, I didn't even tell you what happened. And it's so funny because I already had something on my heart and some things have been on my spirit anyway. And it's funny what you said, especially about my mother. I love my sisters. Yeah, we're in tune. We're kindred spirits. We're all connected and hella synchronized. Don't even have to say shit, but we knowing some shit though. You know what I'm saying? Before your soul even knows. Shout out to the healers who be doing some stuff. Okay, I said Holy Trinity. Oh, Asha. All started with you for Aries sis. Because, we share stories, and that's as long as me and her ever talk. No, we talked on the phone a long time before that too. But she asked me to do something, and I'm still staring at that damn tablet. I'm not done with that letter. We do healing works, you know what I mean? And if people heal without even knowing that they're healing. Oh God. Oh yeah. Even healers need healing. So I'm gonna make this quick, not too long. So a few things here, you guys, because people don't know, they see some things but don't know the whole full story. And sometimes, again, I say your soul knows some things before you do. And, again, I say I'm surrounded by angels. Oh God. The letter to my dad. And go figure for Leo sis bestie, your mama's birthday, she's a Pisces, my dad's birthday, the day he was murdered is the day after your mother's birthday. There's a reason why I have John 3:16 tatted on me. That's a code, by the way, too. And so is John 3:15 too. We're going to talk about that later. But you have to address your pain and fears as you heal. And I had a whole different thing I was going to do for a vlog later. Because I thought today was a 3-year anniversary that my brother passed away. It was actually yesterday. And as one of my platforms for Facebook, you know how you show your memories and things like that have happened? And a few of my brother's friends, or the people I grew up with, are on my page. And they were there at the funeral. And just behind the scenes about just the whole story. Because I feel bittersweet about things. But if anything, even for last night, Asha, you're too far away for a hug. And Tasha, you're hella far away. If anything, I asked, Tasha, before you even said anything, I listened to your remark, I was still not done. I couldn't stop breaking down crying in the middle of it. If anything, I prayed, because I don't care if my mama has 2 dead kids right now. Actually 4, because me and my brother, he's dead, and it's going to kill her. Karma has not been good to her. She beat us and mistreated us so bad. And my stepbrother's on top of that too. Like my mama, she's sick. But that's still your mother, right? And so even if I never see her again, I have not. There's a reason why I have a domestic violence order against her. Don't want to be found, never try to contact her. I am done with that whole side of the family. And I know through my brother's eyes what he went through, because he went through it worse than me. Even though I'm just one sitting there stuck in a situation. I asked God and I asked Divine to just pray and just protect her, because I know her heart hurts. Because I've seen some things. My mama, I asked God to just protect her, pray for her today, and even yesterday. So as Aries sis brought an assignment to me, I still have to complete. We all heal each other. That's what we do in this motherfucker. You feel me? We gonna sit there. We gonna sit there and be all right. Even for Aquarius OG sis last night, shit, we gonna clear these motherfucking chakras out. It was going down, okay? Shit, even healers need healing. But I asked above anything else, and it's so weird because yesterday marks the day that my brother was found dead. And I'm the one who had to sit there and take the call. I'm the one who was conserved. I'm the one who had power of attorney. The same person who molested, raped, and beat and did things to me. And he has his own story too. So I don't condone what happened, but I forgive my brother and always had to still be my brother's keeper, even down to laying him down in the ground. And I know the pain he's going through. And he's with daddy too. And it's like, I feel so much energy. That's where the energy is coming from. I don't even peep what day it was, but I still am surrounded by energy. And so for Leo bestie sis, you know, it's so weird because I never talked to you about that part. You had no idea what the day was and what's going on. And so as Asha said one thing, we're just sitting there talking about shit, and I feel some type of way, and there's a lot of energy going on. This whole week has been very, if you're clairvoyant or energy sensitive, there's something in the air. I am going to ground this weekend. I'm serious. I'm going to walk barefoot in somebody's park, and I'm going to sit there and just grab a tree and just squat and just ground. That's what I'm going to do. And I need some air. But for Tasha, you took it a step further, because for Asha, I told Latasha the exercise. I really am having a hard time with this, because even though our loved ones gone, we all deal with grief differently. And my dad was murdered on his birthday in front of his house, and he knew it was coming. Some of you guys remember that story. And go figure, the same person who had him murder his second ex-wife was supposed to be out on his birthday, has the same birthday as my mama. And they both favor each other with the same energy. My mother is evil. And I'm not the first one to say that. My whole fucking family says that. There's a reason why none of her kids want to fuck with her. I'm so serious. Whatever's in my mom's body, that's not my mom. And I'm not saying that just because of me, because everybody else has called it out too. And especially my daddy said it. Her own sister said it. Even her own husband. And my mama is sick. I'll just say it like that. She's sick, but she puts on a good show though, right? Hold the best parties, can go to church and be the most church-going member. But then talk about you behind your back, stab you in the back, the most biggest narcissist you've ever seen. Mommy dearest on steroids. I could tell some stories. It triggered something this morning, because I'm looking at my memories from my brother's funeral program. I did not do that program, by the way. My mama did that, and she did the taps thing. So when the military came in to play that song, and keep in mind, I'm not going to tell my brother's whole story. He has a story. And I can understand why he hated me so much. We live in the same house. I'm going to sit there and say, for parents who have more than one kid, don't ever show favoritism towards another, because that does create sibling rivalry. There's a reason why he hated me. So, and not just that, because I remember, like, for me, my daddy only maybe spanked me twice. One, like, a little pop in the hand. Another time he sat there and popped me in the butt because I was jumping in the bed in the middle of the night. But my dad, he always taught me to believe in myself. You know what I'm saying? My dad was always proud of me. But I'm a daddy's girl, you know what I'm saying? We all had the same opportunities, lived in the hills, never had to worry about anything. My brother had these Mustangs, all kinds of shit going on. Some of you guys remember, his Mustangs were better than two shorts, the 67 convertibles. You know what I'm saying? He had three. No, maybe he had one coupe. The first one was a coupe. But we never had to want for anything. But you never know what goes on behind those closed doors. And so while my parents never really disciplined me like that, because I was a nerd. I was the good kid. My mom exposed me to some shit and did some other stuff, and I acted out after. But I remember my brother always getting beat every day. When I say beat, I mean have to get on your knees, on over the couch in the living room, and have that belt. And I mean, it was like, that was some slavery beating. He would do some bad shit, like he earned a whipping, but it's just, kids learn a lot, and they program that stuff into their spirit. When you say things like, you're never going to amount to anything, you're stupid, you're never going to be shit, why can't you be like your sister? And keep in mind, I'm 7 years younger. And they program him with all this negativity. That's the first child, you know what I mean? But he kept acting out. He was always been a rebel. And I see why my aunts would tell my mom, and those, it's not a good idea to leave me at home alone with my brother. Between being raped and have to fucking cut his fucking toenails off with my teeth, and I have to sit there and do everything. I really am. He called me slave trade. I lived every part of that. That's like Miss Seeley on steroids. Got pushed down the stairs. He tried to have me killed. Police had been called, and there's a reason why my dad and my stepdad would try to protect me. At the same time as I got older and got my power and stopped taking that bullshit, you know, it's a blessing and a curse to sit there and say that God will make your enemies your footstool. God will make your enemies and your foes your footstool. Because there's a price to pay with that. So whatever my brother's done to me, for all he's done over the years, he tried to sit there and have the whole family killed except for my son. But I understand the anger. I understand the rage, because I'll never forget that from my aunts. They would always ask me, and growing up, and I would act out, why are you so angry? But they knew I was being abused. They knew my mama was crazy. My mom would sit there and run around the house after my dad and literally try to kill him with the axe and chop the door down. My mom was the one to sit there and stalk my stepdad, who she cheated on. My mama was a hoe. And sit there and just all kinds of fucked up shit. Sit there and get mad at him. But, you know, Karma's a bitch. And she sit there and set his clothes on fire as he left her for another woman. He sat there and hit on the whole damn family. You feel me? And she exposed me to my abuser. Who the fuck? And I'm telling her, Mama, your dude sat there and shoved his tongue down my throat, tried to put his foot up my crotch as an adult. When I'm having private moments with my boyfriend, and as she goes through everything I had when I was coming home to even visit for summers from college, she gave the videotapes to my stepdad for him to keep. So you wonder why while your husband's watching your daughter having orgasms with her boyfriend and still cool friends with, that's my second high school sweetheart, Aquarius sis, OG, or Erica, you remember him, Hassani. You know what I'm saying? But you wonder why your husband acts the way he does. And I'm not the first person he's done this to, but you're still with this dude to this day. But my mama is sick. She has bipolar, and she's a narcissist to the T. Not just to me, my brother. I'll never forget that there's many mornings, even in high school, my dad would have to come before they got the divorce, because I was younger than my brother. He was in high school. I think he was going to Oakland Tech at that time. But after she took us on a date with her dude she's cheating on, while our dad is at home and we're all living together as a happy family, my stepdad, my brother, keep in mind, as a teenager, he was like, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I'm saying? In so many words. And so as he spoke up about this shit, she sat there and attacked my brother, and my dad would have to pull her off of him every morning before he went to school, in high school. You don't know the battles that people go through. My mama is sick, so she's mad because we told our dad, "Yo, mama, we saw mama kissing this dude, and he took us out to dinner, and she's rubbing on his hair and shit." But she attacked the person for telling, but you sit there and introduced us to the sick fuck. You feel me? And you get mad because he had more of a fixation on me than he had on her as I grew and blossomed, and she left me with this dude too at night. But my brother has been through so much. He's been through a lot in his life, not even just at home, even at school and just different things like that. So I can understand how people act out. I acted out too in different ways. And I never forget, because my brother, after the military, even if he did not deserve those, he did deserve those taps. Let me say that. Because even if he had issues and did some things that got him discharged dishonorably, he still served his time in Desert Storm, Panama War, and a couple other things, a few other wars. He's seen a lot. The front lines, infantry. And I think about what our military goes through with PTSD, because my brother did have that. Now, see, ran with that wrong crowd. Some of you guys are on my page. Ran with, you knew my brother too. Knew the pain he went through. He's always been a rebel. And something caused him to get caught in a situation where he got blunt trauma to the head. That was March 16th, Daddy's birthday of 2008. That was 3 years before Daddy's murder. It's interesting how things happen and how things are connected. That's a whole different story. And he was never right since. He was never right. After strokes, comas. I could tell you guys some stories. It's just interesting to me, the timing of what my sisters have given me to do without me saying anything, not even sharing things with them. But God gives you messages. And I feel energies. I'm going to tell you guys something as a healer. I'm not trying to be. There's something you can't control. I'm going to say something. I'm thinking what I knew what I did and not trying to, because whatever I have is on Daddy's side. Daddy had the same gifts. Grandmother, his mother. And I understand. Now I understand everything Daddy is saying. I get it. Shit. My son has it. My cousins had it. My aunts, my uncles, everybody on that side that's coming from grandmother. That's on Daddy's side. I did something to amplify my gifts, and I just say be careful what you ask for, because some shit you might not be prepared for. But you start taking on a panoramic view, because some of you guys remember from my brother, and it kills me about where I have to be my brother's keeper, no matter what he did to me. And I sit there and made things clear. And everything's kept under the rug like a dirty fucking secret. I'm still supposed to and expected to protect my brother at all costs, or do something to defend my mom too. My mom was playing a victim and she was a predator. I look back at some things and that makes me resent her even more. I never forget some things my dad told me. So whenever Yancey was going through some things as far as him being homeless, fell apart, even finding his apartment, even finding an outreach program for him. And the one thing I did not do, he hated me to death for that, because the same person he tried to kill is now the person that gave your last drink of water. And I did it in style the way he would have wanted. As some of you guys were at his funeral, and I really appreciate, and I know he was smiling. I looked at him because some of you guys saw me coming at his funeral. That was until February. But I came in late. I coordinated everything, but that was my day of redemption. After all that I've been through, all the hurt I've been through, that was my day of freedom, because of how much he hurt me. I had to release that hurt. So while everybody's wearing black and being somber and shit, and most of those people didn't even know my brother. They're there just for the show and get a free plate because of my mama. And I'm the one who sat there and financed everything except for that catering thing. I did not do that. But everything else, I was a conservator, the power of attorney, and also his, at one point, even his chore provider. That's why I love what I do in my job, because I'm learning everything about what I do and giving back and blessing people. He missed Daddy so much after he passed away. There's a reason why he would not let go of John 3:16. That's a code. In connection with 10 equals 1. So, and me and Daddy got that. And Yancey had a lot of guilt. And it's bad because no matter what happened to him as a child and growing up and even in adulthood, I can understand why he has so much anger. And it's weird because as that person transitions, like for my mom, she used to then play victim. So every time my brother would call and threaten to kill her and call all kinds of bitches, all kinds of shit, now I understand why. I would sit there and automatically attack mom because I want the same thing that he wanted. I wanted to have a relationship with my mom, but my mom was never capable of giving that to us. She should not have had kids, but I'm glad she had me and him because at least we had this life. At least I had a life and I could sit there and do. I'm just thankful I'm my father's child. No matter what happened between me and my brother, no matter what he did, some of you guys remember it, and I'll never forget it, the last time I saw him on 2018, the month before he passed from a grand mal seizure. And he had dementia. And yeah, he had psoriasis of the liver, whatever it's called. And yeah, he had blunt trauma and epilepsy, all kinds of stuff. But I always had to protect my brother. I don't care if it's litigation, which I sat there and fought and successfully won because he tried to fuck up one of our accounts for me and Daddy's business. Oh, he hated me, but I earned my spot. But I had a different role than what he had, though, so I understand some things. But that last time I saw him, and I'll never forget, I asked my supervisor, who I still work under, I see him all the time now, too. He's not my supervisor now. He's also an elder of the church. We sat there and even just different things. He's a very gifted soul, too. I asked him to give me some anointed, some blessed oil, and he sat there and had the elders pray over it. And asked for scripture, because every time something happened to my brother, he's on life support in a coma. Me and Mama, I'm always going to have to sit there and coordinate everything, and we drive down to Fresno, to the hospital where he's at, and just sit there and I would sit there and join hands. I'm old school prayer. You know what I mean? I remember, like, for Grandpa's side, the original Grant. And my son is the reincarnated Grant. But we're old school. We're heavy duty. We're old school. So I'll never forget for Grandpa's sister, which is my Aunt Marie, who passed away. My God bless her soul, too. When the nights I spent out at her house, as Mama's out doing whatever the hell she does, and I'd be with my cousin Jackie and Mark and Wayne and the family, we would all join hands before we say goodnight and everybody goes home or goes to their rooms, whatever. We join hands. Uncle Hunt, too. Oh, he was real strong. We join hands, and whatever we have in our hearts, we pray for safe travels and pray for each other. Join hands and do circle prayer. There's power in prayer. Do you understand? I'm more old school. I'm from Daddy's side on that part, too. I'm old school. You lay your hands. There's a gift in touch. For some people, I've had experiences with. Some of you guys have experiences with me, too. Can't explain it, but some shit be happening. There's power in the gift of the soul and in touch, too. It all starts here. And so, for my brother, as my mom is foreign to this, and she knows, because she's from Louisiana, too. You should know better. But whatever's in her body, that's not my mother. My mama left that body a long time ago. I'm not the first person to say that. Even other readers have picked that up, too. It's just something, whatever happened to her, something, that's not her. And karma's not treating her good right now. And I pray for her. But we sit there, it was never her idea to grab a Bible, whatever else. I just sit there and show my mom some things. She was always curious. Like, she wants to know, but she still has major blockages. That's beyond my control. That's not my battle. She's going to come back here in several lifetimes, by the way. But her shell is not doing well right now. And I don't care to ever see her again. I had to think about what Leo Sis said earlier. But we would join hands This last time I saw my brother, not the first time I've done that to him, join hands and pray for that person you love. So if my brother is on a ventilator and on life support, and his soul is hurting, his body is hurting, I pray for that person. I don't care what happened to us in the past. I forgive my brother. And it's a very powerful thing because as he passed, you see through their eyes. So when I say that because things I didn't even pay attention to or see, and I'm not trying to sit there and stick up for my brother like that, because some things, when it comes to that other side over there, that spirit can move into you. You clairvoyants and you mediums, you understand what I'm saying? Not trying to channel, but they sit there and you have no control over that shit. They're like, what's up? So you see the panoramic view from over there to see how, not just how your life has been and what you've been through, but how you've affected and hurt others. And then over in this side over here, if you have that gift, you get to see the pain that they endured from their eyes. And you feel it. You can't explain it. And so it hits me for everything my brother has gone through. It hits me for everything my brother has gone through, because now I understand. I forgive him. And he's with daddy. I get it. But I've seen all the pain and things that he's had to endure through his eyes. That shit's not a fun experience. He's been through a lot of pain. So I understand. And we're good now. And he's here right now. We're just sitting here chilling. And I know him as daddy so much after he passed away. He had a lot of guilt he had. He's never been the same. Because daddy was our rock more than mama ever was. We try to love her. We try to receive love. But yesterday is the day he passed away. Not today. And I'm the one to sit there and take the call. I'm the one to sit there and coordinate. I'm the one that has to sit there and do damn near everything. And as I feel my brother's pain, and I learned that that's where things even turn even more left, because my mom is so used to being in control and being the true narcissist. I'm not going to do what, you know what, she's going to put me. I didn't want to sit there and be my brother's conservator. I want to be done with all these people. There's a reason why I cut my whole family off on that side. Fuck those people. You knew about the abuse. You knew, you told my mom it's not a good idea to leave me, and you leave me with my brother, and you knew that some shit was going on. You see how crazy my mom is. But then I'll never forget some shit. Let's not talk about that. But as I sit there and took control, I did exactly what I was supposed to do. I did the things that Yancy would have wanted. Not what my mom would have wanted, because she wanted to do some fake ass church shit. My mom was the most superficial ass Christian you'll ever meet in your life. I don't know what that is in her body, but it's not her. And that's Thank you for giving me life, and thank you for giving it to my daddy. You feel me? Leave it like that. And I'm doing just fine, and I'm happy. Now, I pray for her. I really do pray. I asked last night. Some people have seen me do some metaphysical shit. I've never done roots on my mama. No juju, none of that shit. I don't care what she's done to me. I forgive, but I'll never forget. And it's time to move on. But the thing that she cursed herself. I didn't have to curse you. You cursed yourself. And it killed her, because as much as I took control, she wanted to have that superficial church thing going on. No. I had my brother and all his homies. I contacted everybody and got that together. So his pallbearers are all his homies from going way back when, and my stepbrother, you know what I'm saying? And except for John Washington, I'm still mad at you. I can respect it, though, because you're a 49ers fan. You didn't wear any Raiders gear. I understand now. But still, thank you. Yeah, 49ers. But, you know, I did things, even for my brother. I laid him to rest and whatever he wanted, even down his coat, you know what I'm saying? Whatever he wanted, I did what he wanted. And my mom, I paid for everything except for the TAPS thing. But I see he did deserve that because he served in several wars. Even if he didn't leave honorably. And I understand a lot. Especially with PTSD, but also too for my mom with that fucking, she wanted me to sit there and feed her congregation of her friends. No. So that's where that came out too. I'm not putting on a show. So some of you guys remember at my brother's funeral, you know, as everybody else was sitting there in that whole wide range and sitting there eating and drinking and being happy and doing all this other stuff. For Chief, I saw Jason prove it too for a little bit. He came in for a little bit, say what's up, I think. But who else is there? All the Trills. The Trills came in there. My stepbrother, my former Capricorn sis showed up. I didn't expect to see her. And then my former childhood best friend. And just the people who were close, like, were just chill. You know what I'm saying? We sat there and got our own room aside from the crowd. And as my dad likes Crown Royal, I know Yancey would love that too. You know what I'm saying? We sat there, had a big ass bottle of Crown Royal to sit there eating, drinking, and being happy, do our own damn thing. We literally shut that damn funeral home down. We're the last ones to leave. Shit, I felt some type of way. My mama was so mad because I did not sit there. And some of you guys have to remember this too, as though I coordinated and put everything together, because I was the power of attorney, conservator, chore provider at one point, and I was my brother's keeper. But that was still my day of redemption, because as much as he did to me and hurt me and all he put me through, and I'm talking about major trauma. We're talking about rape, molest, incest, try to have me killed, push me down the stairs, all kinds of shit going on. And really mean that shit. I'm not talking about just childhood. I'm talking about childhood to adulthood. He's always hated me, and I understand why. Again, I say, for people who have 2 kids or more, do not put your kids against each other. So be careful how you treat people, because kids remember that, and it's scarring. And that creates issues between the two. That's not healthy. Thank God I just have one. But where am I going with this? So after all is said and done, my mom has to live with the guilt of, she has to, she didn't realize it's so weird, because I'm the one to take that call that night from the fire department when they said on that Sunday that they found my brother on the floor and he died from a grand mal seizure. But as my mom put me in a position of power, because she sees how my dad's the one who formulated me and grew me. She might have given birth, but I'm my father's child. When it comes to paralegal stuff or being a boss stuff, B stuff, that's daddy. And I'm always expected to take care of things. So I'm the one to sit there and be the personal assistant, even for litigation, whatever I could do. My mama, she had bad intentions though, whatever she did. Even from that thing with the whole taking that pastor down for her church. She did it for show, but not for chewing chin, not for the right reasons. And she expected me to protect her as she's trying to set everybody else up. She uses people as punching bags. And she'll kick you at your lowest point, but lure you in, gaslight you, guilt trip you, but then use you, then apologize just to do it all over again. If you don't do what she wants, all of a sudden you're a punching bag. You're nothing. I hate you. I'm glad you have cancer. I hope you die. But she used me as her protector against my brother. Now I see why he called her kinds of bitches and wanted to have her killed. Because of what she did to him. So every time he attacked her, I sit there and attack him back as I got older. And she gave me control. She put me in a position of power. But she didn't realize that as that night that she found out that he passed away, after she tried to have him set up to go to be institutionalized or incarcerated and try to take everything away from him, because he fought back the same way I did against her. because she mistreated all her kids, stepkids and kids. There's a reason why nobody wants to talk to her, be around her. She broke down with all kinds of crocodile tears, and I got that call. And all of a sudden, she regrets everything. She has so much guilt to face. Because every time she goes to... And it's so funny because my brother wanted to be where Daddy was so bad. I've dealt with the caretakers and things like that after his case transferred. And the same exact spot where his casket was for that service, in that same exact room, is where Daddy's service was, in that same exact spot. And he's with Daddy, I know. Time I said hi. Some things I don't talk about offline. But somehow your spirit knows some things before you do. Arian sis gave me that assignment. And Leo sis took it a step further before I even said anything. Didn't say anything. Don't even talk about certain things. So every time my mom goes to that resting place that a lot of my family is at, and life is not treating her well, because I swear karma has a way of getting back. And even though I've not seen her since 2019, don't want to talk to her. There's a reason why I had a domestic violence order against her. I got tired of being a punching bag. Some of you guys have seen the videos. She got mad at me because she went to fucking Santa Rita at 7-some years old, because she's always beating up and trying to sit there and attack everybody else. But now it's her turn. And I'm trying to set people up, so now it's her turn to go to jail. And she's mad because I didn't lie for her. And the police saw everything for themselves anyway. So I'm just sitting here like, I just told the truth. Now it's your turn. And I got attacked even more for that. After she stole about $30-some thousand of my credit and all kinds of shit going on. But something said last night to pray for my mother. Pray for her. Because I know she has a lot of guilt. I even looked at the videos last night, because I noticed that right before things really hit the fan in January 2019, that's when it got to be too much. I would start video recording her attacking me, because keep in mind I was going through radiation, I had finished radiation, still going through complications, still sick. I was like down to $150, actually $145, 145 pounds from cancer and all that other stuff. So you guys remember my journey. And she's like, I love you. I need you to make things work and come home. And I was too sick to take care of myself. I was like throwing up. I mean, it was bad. And I want a relationship with my mom so bad, never had that. So I said, let me try this again. There were some times that my son even had to pick me up off the floor from throwing up, because I couldn't keep food down. I was so sick. I was on the toilet just sick. My mama used that for leverage. Even after Daddy was murdered, I did not realize she started stealing my credit before I even moved from my house. You know what I mean? Like months after. I don't understand. But she has a sickness, though. Again, she has a sickness. But after every special anniversary that happens, whether it be my birthday, which is the same day that she got married to my stepfather with my abuser the second time, or after certain holidays, including the anniversary of my brother's passing, she'll sit there and attack and use her as a punching bag. And I have videos of this, of her attacking me. Some of you guys have seen it. She has, I said, cognitive dissonance. So, and I'm not looking for her, I'm staying away, but you just have this way of acting out. So because I tell the truth and say what I say and I stay to myself, otherwise, rather than take accountability for what you do, your idea is to either avoid or destroy. She's more destroy. But see, it backfired on her horribly. She doesn't think out certain situations, even for what happened, for ending everything. I'm not seeing my mama And I don't know how long. I don't care to. That's a done deal for life. Not even at her own funeral. I forgive. And I think about what Leo sis said. I thank you for giving me life. But aside from that, I'm done. And I'm in closure with this. I accept things for what they are. It took me a while to see it. And though people tried to warn me, I accept it. And I'm okay with it. And I'm happier without it. Some things you have to sit there and just cut some shit off so you can fly. But I need to have this situation. But for her, every time she'll come to my brother's resting place, and I know it's killing her. Now I'm going to see her, not even see him, but he's right next to my grandmother. Daddy's downstairs. We have Uncle Big John on the other side. We have family all over the place in that resting place. But she's going to have to face the guilt of everything she did to her children because she has 2 dead kids. One that hated her but tried to be loved by her but never could. Who's now next to grandma. And she has one who never wants to see her again. Don't even ask about her. She no longer exists. And 2 step kids who really don't. Man, they're all my brother's age too. Some of you guys know my step brothers. They've been stopped fucking with her. She no longer exists. She's dead. And for everything she's done to us as kids, she has to live with that for the rest of her life. And it's so interesting because even after that court date, the last time I found out I was pregnant the first time, because whatever I did, she did something to retaliate. So she made it. My mom has a way of setting people up. She's always done, not just me, to everybody. She's scandalous, just like my stepdad. They're both like they're not honest people. They're just, I don't know. They're Shady McGrady. Didn't fly, but still the fact is what you tried to do, because all I wanted you to do was stop putting your hands on me and stop stealing my wallet and stop taking my stuff and stop attacking me. I'm not a punching bag because you're mad because I didn't lie for you if you're going to jail for putting your hands on somebody else. Don't be mad at me. Just stop. I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but just stop. My mom was a bully. And I can't talk bullies though. You feel me? But every time she has to go up there to see my grandmother and leave flowers, she's going to have to see my brother and realize everything she's done. So even after that hearing, and that was in 2019, I saw her shortly after at Foods Co. And this before we had the face mask. I think it was 2019. She saw me, and some of you guys remember my mom was so beautiful, with the long, beautiful Indian, Creole, Mexican hair going on, and always dressed pretty and everything else. She looked like shit. She aged horribly. I mean, I have never seen anybody age that fast. I mean, sometimes God will sit there and make your enemies enfold your footstools and make things happen to them, and karma fast, and your head can even spin. That's why I say, may God have mercy on her soul. I never had to sit there and cuss my mother out like that or anything like that. As I pray for her. And something told me last night to just pray for her, because out of everything she's going through, she's going to need it. Because guilt and karma is going to eat her alive. And it is. So I was thinking about what Leo sis said. Because I know what Asha said, or Aries sis said, and gave me that assignment. It really is bugging my spirit, but not a bad thing. It's just some things you have to face your demons and sit down and face some things. I don't care, because everybody grieves differently. I don't care how much time passes. For somebody truly is connected to your heart, your life's never going to be the same. You'll have your good days and your bad days. And what's interesting to me is because people say you have to learn about letting go. It's not that easy, because when the other side starts reaching you back to remind you, hey, I'm here. How are you doing? I miss you. I can't tell you my dad's favorite song, that me and his song, No One by Alicia Keys. There's a story behind that. When he first gave me that Hemi on 10/10/10 for my birthday, that's the day I officially kicked out my last ex. I was free. And my dad heard that on my ringtone at work when that song first came out. And that became his favorite song. That's our song. And he had the CD in the Hemi. Some of you guys remember my charger. And sometimes I even think about him, and all of a sudden I'm sitting there listening to Pandora, whatever else, that song comes on. Just certain songs come on, or you smell a certain scent of only that person wears, or just certain things that remind you. But the other side reaches out, even to sit there and just even your dreams, all kinds of stuff. I could tell you guys some stories. But it's hard to let go. So it's like, you try to be okay. It's not always that easy all the time. So even though we know that they're with us all the time, and you feel them, like I'm covered in goosebumps right now, for the past, since this morning I woke up, sometimes you have to put it in writing, and I get it. But even saying that letter of how you feel to whoever's affected you. So take it a step further. So for my brother, I'm going to do a few different letters this weekend. Because even though he's over on the other side with Daddy, he still needs to know I forgive him and understand. And then for my mother, it's bad for all she put me through. I still pray for her, for God to heal whatever's in her body and heal her and to release her. Because I know she's hurt and had a story too. And that's why I say some people continue patterns, but some things are not okay. I forgive my mother, though I can't fuck with you. You feel me? But I'm not even going to say it like that. I just say thank you. Because it took me for everything I've gone through, even for me to have everything and be taught everything, to even have me having this life, to lose everything, having to rebuild. My daddy taught me well because of his own journey with the same person. But I'm thankful because it taught me strength and what I'm grateful for. Even moving forward and moving down to Texas coming up. And my mama hated me about that too. Because everything I've done, I can sit there and do things. I don't need to have anybody. I don't have to rely on a man. You know what I mean? My mama's never been alone, and she would hate that. She would hate the fact I was always, your dad. Yeah, my dad was cool. My dad spent time with me. My dad and I would sit there and take walks around the lake. My dad and I would sit there and do roller coaster rides and spend quality time. I've only been on one mother-daughter trip with my mom, and that was just to show gratitude because I was working on a litigation case for her. And it wasn't even mother-daughter trip. It was no true bonding. I sat there, went my way, she went her way, but she was just trying to get me to de-stress because I had taken on that was a big case. God. But it was no true, we never spent time. My mama, some people, again, they may want the thought and want this. And I used to hate that so bad because I look at my cousins and their mothers and my aunts, and they have such close connections. And keep in mind, I all grew up in the same house too. But everybody in the same household has different experiences. I wanted what they had. You know, they sit there and do mother-daughter time. I had more of a closer connection with my aunts than my mama. My mama never spent time. She was too busy out in the streets and doing other shit. You know what I mean? Or gossiping on the phone and doing whatever else. Whatever I did on my own, even buying my first house in my own name, my mother was jealous. She hated the fact about I could build a business and I did this thing with Daddy. She hated it. But she's never done it before. But then she wanted to use my services. How does that work? So I don't know. I forgive a lot. Let me stop. I'm going on a rant right now, you guys. I just had to get that out of my system. I cried my tears out. I have things to do this weekend. I actually am glad. I want to see Aquarius OG sis this weekend. And happy pre-birthday, chick. Let me head to work. It's 10 o'clock. Yeah, let me head to work. I just had to get it out of my system. My heart feels better. I just didn't realize yesterday was the anniversary of my brother's passing. There's a reason why I start getting more emotional during certain times. I don't even know why. Now I know why. And then for my sisters to give me certain exercises, we always look out for each other. We uplift each other. Everything comes on time because there's some things that I have to address and get out for me to heal. You know what I mean? Didn't tell anybody anything about any of this offline. But yet messages come to me. That's the whole key thing about vision and clarity, because, and that's so wonderful too. It's like a gift and a curse, because things you're not even looking for, but like some shit's going to manifest. Whatever you're doing in the dark, I'm going to find the fuck out what's going on. The messages that are meant to be given to me, they come right on time. Again, there are no coincidences. So let me refix my face, you guys, and head out. You guys have a good one.